Ali, looking back on your triumph at the BetVictor German Masters, it'd been a long old time, I suppose, since you'd last lifted silverware before that. How much of a relief was it to finally do it out in Berlin?
Obviously, massive relief. You know, it was a massive tournament out there for me, and to win after 7 years is all the more special. The Tempodrom's a special place to play, and arguably, I know it's probably not one of the biggest ranking events. I think a lot of the players see it as one of the bigger ones because it gets so well supported, and it's such a great atmosphere there.
Yeah, it's a place you've won twice at. Do you think it's just that atmosphere around it, the big stage? I think Neil Robertson once described it as being like Russell Crowe walking out in Gladiator into the Colosseum. Do you think that's just the sort of atmosphere that you thrive in?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of things lined up that week. I played well. You know, it was meant to be. You know, a lot of sometimes that all happens. All the holes line up, and you go right through to the end. Other times, you know, you can lose in a semi or lose in a final where perhaps you should have won, and it just wasn't meant to be. So, from that point of view, it was very pleasing that it was a successful week.
What is it like before that final session, stood at the top of the steps about to kind of walk out into the arena? It's a very unique place, isn't it?
It's an unbelievable place to walk out and play snooker, 2,500 people. I could only put it, you know, probably second to the Masters. The Masters walking out there in the final back in 2019 was a massive like buzz, you know, against Stuart Bingham. But, you know, the German Masters is not far behind that, certainly.
All your other finals have all either had some sort of jeopardy or been quite close. This one against Tom Ford was quite one-sided. Did that give you an extra piece of satisfaction that you managed to just go in for the kill, and, you know, when you had your foot on his throat, didn't let it off?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I was 2-0 behind in that final, and I just thought, well, you know, he played well in the first two frames, and then I sort of took off. I wasn't flustered at all, where, you know, you don't want to be 2-0 down before you've seen a ball in any match, let alone a final. So that particular time, I just remained calm, and, you know, I was confident that when I did get my chances, I'd take them, and it worked out that way.
How important is it in snooker as a sport that when you have someone where you want them, you don't let them off, because things can change?
No, it's massive. If you don't take advantage, you know, and you let someone off the hook, all sorts of things start happening. You know, the balls turn against you. You know, you start feeling the pressure a little bit more when you know you've had someone by the jugular and you let them off. Yeah, it's not a nice feeling.
And finally, how important do you think that moment could be for the rest of your career, having got that monkey off your back and got another title? How big could that be?
Oh, massive. Well, it sets you up, doesn't it? You know, being in the top 16 for possibly 2 seasons after winning. You know, no qualifying for the Crucible for the UK. You know, you're playing in all the big events, the Masters. It's a good, and you're mixing it and reminding yourself every week where you are, and you're a top player. And, you know, that's important too.
Thanks very much for speaking to us, Ali.
Cheers.